What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode on the Acura CL. Figured I'd bring y'all along, show y'all what I got. I got a couple upgrades for it. I'm hoping these will be the answer for the front end. I only just found them. I'd never heard of this brand doing this, but I got some Dorman adjustable front upper arms. Had no idea they did this. I'll get y'all some part numbers and I'll put it down in the description as well. But yeah, pretty cool. I was running some eBay. I can't find, they're over here somewhere, but I was running some eBay units and they were absolutely bashing the shock towers, even when I wasn't low. So I'm hoping these right here will be the answer for that, and I'll be able to dial in some camber because I went ahead and put the stock arms back on it because I just didn't want to tear up the shock towers anymore than I already had. But I got those, and I got some rear camber arms. These are another brand I never heard of. These look like they're SPC knockoffs. They look decent. They weren't like super cheap. They weren't like super cheap, but you can see there's a part number. The brand LYKT. I don't know if y'all heard of them. I've never heard of them, but I figured I would give them a shot, see how they work. They look pretty decent, pretty beefy. Yeah, just some adjustableness. Yeah, I just wanted to get some more adjustability in the car for camber. The rears, with the new wheels and tires, I'm rubbing pretty good on where the bumper and the rear quarter come together. And I'm hoping to dial in some camber back there, a little bit more camber back there to kind of alleviate that a little bit, which I'll show you all the wheels and tires I got. A little in depth on those, not really in depth, just show you what I got. And I'll probably do a little time lapse showing me taking the suspension apart. But yeah, y'all just stick around. I'm gonna get these knocked out, get them put on. Probably go ahead and get the front arm off so I can measure them up and kind of dial in some camber off the car, which, I mean, these are like OE style bushings. They're not like poly or anything like that. I could upgrade them, I guess, but I just went ahead and picked these up when I saw them. I found them on eBay. Part numbers, let me see. We got 526 402 and 526 401. So that's the driver and passenger side. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get you on a time lapse and start tearing this suspension apart. Okay, so I don't know if y'all were able to pick up on this from the time lapse that I just did, but make your life a lot easier by dropping the coil out of the way, unless your springs are lined up perfectly with the bolts so you can slide them in between the coils. Yeah, it's just going to make it a lot easier if you just drop that coil over or strut out of the way to alleviate or make some room for those bolts to come out of these guys. But yeah, let's look at these. Let's compare them. Get this one set up and get it thrown in. So we got the adjustable ball joint here, which, I mean, it's nothing special. I mean, it's actually fairly loose. It looks alright. I mean, it looks like it's decent quality. Actually, it doesn't look like it's pressed in all the way. Maybe it is, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go ahead and let's see, did it go? Gotta figure out which way this goes. I believe it goes this way. And that's about as far in as it'll go. So let's get these out. We got some lock washers. And then these are looking like, I don't know, 10 millimeter Allens. Let's see. Let me find the correct socket real quick. And y'all let me know how the sound is. I'm trying out I'm using the GoPro for this and using the mic that I got. So hopefully it sounds all right. I'm hoping it's doing okay. We shall see. Well, that's interesting. That is interesting. Let me go ahead and loosen this up. My finger tight is too tight. And it came with a new crown nut and new cotter pin. So I'll probably measure these up. Maybe go from end of ball joint. Let's see, let's loosen these up real quick. Loose. And if you need to come out more, you just put the front bolts in these back holes. But that's about it for adjustability on this guy, unless you want to like notch this or notch this out of the way. That's going to be absolutely it. Let's just set it like this. Man, I gotta say, that doesn't look like it's gonna add any camber. I hope it does. That's gonna suck if it doesn't, because I'm gonna have to cut this guy out, or at least just cut this off right here, and that's gonna suck. But that's why I'm showing this. I want to show all the good with the bad and the bad with the bad, you know. Let's see. Let's do a rough measurement real quick. So that's all the way in. Let's go from there. So that's 8 3/4, and this is 8 5/8. So this has more camber than this does, which, damn, that sucks. That really sucks. Man, I don't even know what to do now. I guess I'm gonna have to cut this off. I guess I'm just gonna have to cut it. That's really all there is that I can do to get more camber in it. Just like cut it like straight across there and just cut this back section off. Which, I mean, you're never, if you're putting camber arms on this thing, you're not gonna want to put a bunch of positive camber in it. I just don't think that's something that anybody would be looking to do when they're doing camber arms. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm gonna have to do. Guess I'll turn this off and get these cut. God, this is gonna suck. Look how thick that metal is. Oh boy. I really don't want to have to do this. But, I mean, that's it. That's what's got to happen. Man. Alright, so I just got them cut down. You can see a little bit there. I cut one hole off. That's how much I took off of it. And as you can see, that should move us a little bit closer there to getting some camber in this thing. So that brings us down to I'd say 8.5. So we're taking 1/8 of an inch off of it by doing that. So let's go ahead and see if we can get some bolts in it. See if it'll actually pull back that far. Which, I mean, with anything, with any kind of modifications on a car, you're gonna have to do some custom work. Usually. Oh yeah, that's pulling it way in. I'm gonna have a ton of camber. I'm gonna have to dial this in. And with cutting that back hole off, I'm never gonna need to use that hole because I'm never gonna pull the ball joint out that far. So that's no problem there. So I'm gonna go ahead and zap these down real quick. Once I see how they're fitting, I might even throw some Loctite on them. Which that's pretty tight. So let's go ahead and throw this guy in and see how far in it is. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop it down. Get a hard drop there. And just from the quick look, I really, yeah, it probably added some. It might have added a little bit to it. Let me grab my straight edge. See if it's any different here. That's some bad news. Even with the cutting, I don't think it did much. I really don't think it did much. Maybe it did a little bit. Not 100% sure. I will probably drop it down just a little bit, maybe. That'll bring some more camera into it, but as for the front, I mean, other than having a cut, it seems pretty decent. I'm gonna have to hit some big bumps with it and make sure it's not hitting anywhere on the shock tower, which I don't think it will be, but who knows. But let me go ahead and get this rear prepped and I'll get y'all over there on time lapse to take it apart. Okay, well, that's pretty crazy. That's a lot of camber, which I don't think it's gonna hit anymore. I really don't think it's gonna rub. I don't know if you can see up in there where it's been rubbing, but that's a problem spot for these things. When you lower them, they hit right there on the bumper and quarter panel area, which you can see on the tire where I got some plastic melted on the edge. But yeah, y'all let me know how this did. Let me know how this GoPro footage worked, if it looked okay, if it sounds okay with the mic. Yeah, just let me know. If there's anything else you want to see on this thing, let me know. If I missed something, if I didn't point something out, which I got to tighten those brace nuts. I got to remember to tighten those up. But if I need to go more in depth on something, if you want me to show you any other things, like anything with the arms, which you can see how much space I got on these now. Yeah, they're decent. They're pretty decent quality. I mean, other than me having to cut them apart and, you know, customize them and all that stuff. But dang, yeah, that's a that's a lot of camber down there. Let me point that out. I don't know if y'all can pick that up or not, but that is. Let me pull this down here. I can't zoom while it's recording, but yeah, I might have to dial some of that out because, ooh, buddy, that's a lot. But yeah, I got the driver's side to do. I'll probably knock those out off camera unless y'all want to see. I'll go ahead and, well, nah, because I'm gonna need the car either tomorrow or Sunday, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and knock the stuff out tomorrow morning when I get up. But I'm out here sweating like a dog, and it's pretty late, so I'll probably call it here. Y'all comment on this. Y'all let me know how it was. Let me know how the GoPro was. Let me know how the mic was, and if it was terrible, which I'll probably see in editing if it's terrible. But if y'all think it's terrible, I'll just go back to using the camera, and yeah, we'll go from there. But appreciate y'all being here, and I hope y'all enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.